Okay, viewer, in this video we will be explaining about the basic facts about Pakistan. This is the main topic, and subtopic is Federation and Constitution of Pakistan. And this is a very important topic as far as the Pakistan's basic facts is concerned. Let's start on this topic. First of all, there is the Federation of Pakistan. Slide Pakistan is an Islamic Republic by its official. You can say Pakistan is one of the countries which are a religious state based on the religion. Most of the countries are based on the secularism or not any other community basics or on the any other racism, but Pakistan is based on the religion, that is Islam. It is an Islamic republic. It is the official, you can say, the religion of this state is Islam, and all the state organs are subject to follow the Islamic regulations, Islamic rules, Islamic ideology in all areas of the state organs. It is a country which was created on the Islamic ideology, I earlier explained. On 14th of August 1947, Pakistan became a sovereign state separated from the United India. You can say the British India, after ending in near to 100 years of British rule in India. After 1857, there was a British rule on India, and after near to 100 years of the British rule over India and the Indian subcontinent, the British India was divided into two parts, Pakistan and India. And Pakistan became in 1947, 14th of August 1947. First of all, the Federation of Pakistan. The government of Pakistan, the government system of Pakistan is parliamentary. There is a parliamentary government system in Pakistan. There are two houses of parliament. That upper house we call Senate, and the lower house we call National Assembly. And these two houses are elected by the people of Pakistan, some directly, some indirectly. The members of National Assembly are known as MNAs. Member of National is the full form, Member of National Assembly, and in the short form we call it MNAs. And for the upper house, the members are called as senators. Okay, up to here, you can must I must revise this slide, this point on the slides. The government system is Pakistan parliamentary system. The most of the countries, most of the nations has adopted this system, parliamentary system. And there are two houses of the parliament system. The chief executive of the system, the state was the prime minister, who is elected through the parliament by the nomination by the parliament. We will discuss in the detail by upcoming slides. And two houses of the parliament, upper house and lower house. Upper house is Senate and lower house is the National Assembly. And member of National Assembly are known as MNAs, and upper house is senators. Next slide is regarding the provinces of Pakistan. You can say units of Pakistan. By combining these units, we can say this is state of Pakistan. The state of Pakistan is comprising these units, articles, whatsoever you can say. First of all, there is Punjab. It's the largest province of the Punjab as far as the population is concerned. Then there is Khyber Pakhtunkhwa, then there is Sindh, and the Balochistan. As far as the area is concerned, the area of the Balochistan is the largest area in the Pakistan and the smallest by the population is concerned. Each province has its own provincial assembly, just like National Assembly. There is a provincial assembly of the each province, and it's same like there is a chief minister of nominated through the. And these are called MPAs, member of provincial assemblies. And there are also two territories which are distributed between Pakistan and India, as you can say, the incomplete partition plan by the British. When there is a decided to divide the India two parts, then there is a award, then there is a commission we call the Radcliffe Award, who has to decide the boundaries of these two countries. And this Kashmir is still remain you can disputed incomplete part of that plan. and some the part of is administered by the Pakistan, and some part of most of the part of the Kashmir administered by the India. There is a Kashmir and Gilgit-Baltistan, both of the area that required to dispute is resolved. Yet each territory has its own prime minister, and this Kashmir, Baltistan is concerned, president and legislative assembly. These this type, these you can say the parts, disputed parts, but under administrative control of Pakistan, Kashmir and Gilgit-Baltistan has its own separate prime minister, president, and legislative assembly, and their elections are carried out just after 5 years. Next is the slide regarding the election. Member of National Assemblies and Provincial Assemblies, both of Pakistan and its states of Kashmir and Gilgit-Baltistan, all elected through the general election. In general election are vote casted by the common population, common men, women of the Pakistan over the age of 18 years. This is the minimum age required for the casting the vote in Pakistan is 18 years. Every citizen of Pakistan above the age of 18 years, 18 or above the age, can cast the vote. General election are held after every 5 years, both for national and provincial assemblies, both, and are held on the same day. Whereas the senators are elected by the MNAs and MPs after every 6 years. As far as the senators are concerned, they belong to upper house. We have explained in the first slide or second slide. I don't remember. If I am wrong, very sorry. The senators are elected through by the MNAs of the National Assembly and MPs of the all 4 provincial assemblies of Pakistan. There are selected. There are, you can say, the nomination from the each category, each element of the society of the Pakistan. The nomination by the technocrats, religion personalities, scientists, and experts of every part of walk of life. They are nominated by the political parties, and based on the presence in the assemblies, provincial and national, they elect their senators based upon their basic requirements. I have told earlier. Then there is about a slide from Federation of Pakistan. The National Assembly nominated the leader of after general election when the MNAs are taking oath, has taken oath in the National Assembly by the Speaker of National Assembly. The House nominated the Prime Minister, the leader, you can say commonly leader of the House, or and it's commonly from the majority party of the, or it is like if there a party who has not who have not clear majority, then it join together with allies with a small party from the small parties, so that there is a coalition government, and the coalition government nominated its a house of leader of the house leader of the house, whatever you can say, and it's called the Prime Minister. Prime Minister of Pakistan then form a cabinet comprising ministers of various ministries. If a minister may be from the MNAs of his party present in the National Assembly, or it may be, you can say, the advisor from any outside the assembly. He can appoint as advisor in his cabinet. Prime Minister is considered as the chief executive of the government of the state, you can say, and answerable to the nations and state organs. Prime Minister is known as considered as the chief executive. All the executive machinery, the administrative machinery, it comes under the domain of the Prime Minister. Of the federal and provincial, whatsoever the area is concerned. After the 18th Amendment, we will discuss in the slides that the maximum provincial powers are conferred to the provinces. But for the area is concerned, the central federal entity, there are lots of powers, there are lots of administrative responsibilities conferred by the Prime Minister. There is other slides regarding the Federation of Pakistan. Each provincial assembly, now we come to the provincial assembly. Each provincial assembly also nominated house leader is called known as chief minister. In the federal, if you talk about the federal is concerned, there is a prime minister, house leader, and the chief minister is in the provincial assembly. Again, the next point is the chief minister also has cabinet, same as in federal, just like federal government, federal national assembly, and the MN is the chief minister also form a cabinet through from it's a member of the allies of its own party from the provincial assembly, MPA from. After the 18th amendment in the constitution of Pakistan, in 2009, I think it was carried out, 18th amendment in the constitution of Pakistan. The provincial governments are independent to manage their provincial matters. You can say the maximum provincial matters are now under the domain of the provincial governments. Just there are some exceptions, that foreign matters, financial matters from the national finance awards, and there is a defense. There is you can say the state bank, monetary policy, or comes under the federal government. But the you can say the rest the remaining state organs, you can say, are the departments like health, education, local governments, police, a very important aspect, law and order situation in the local area, local province, all comes under the provincial government. However, matters related to the defense, I already explained, judiciary, foreign affairs, and finance are centrally controlled by the federal government. Rest all are the controlled department and comes under the provincial government. Then there is a slide regarding the constitution of Pakistan, very important to know about the state of Pakistan. Constitution of Pakistan provides under the structure on which state of Pakistan exists. It is the basic structure, basic you can say basic criteria, basic structure, basic foundation. Foundation, very exact word for that this category, on which the state of Pakistan exists or stand. Existing constitution was approved by National Assembly of Pakistan in 1973. Existing constitution is approved by the. There are lots of amendments. I think up to that we are in the August 2022. That we have 21 amendments in the constitution to cope with the latest requirements, global changes, and region changes. The amendments are made from time to time. All the state dignitaries and elected members of the National Provincial Assemblies take oath before assumption of their duties from this constitution. All are government dignitaries, state dignitaries, official dignitaries, designations, and elected members of National Provincial Assemblies and all other stakeholders, position holders are take oath from this constitution to be loyal with this constitution from before assumption of their duties. Next slide again regarding the constitution of Pakistan. National and provincial assemblies are bound to legislation within the framework provided in the constitution. No legislation can be passed, implemented, which is against the Islamic Sharia. It is clearly written in this constitution. No legislation, any legislation could be passed by any provincial or national assembly against the Sharia. There is a Sharia court also who is monitoring, and there is a technocrats and there is experts available in the Senate of the Pakistan. There is the upper house, and no legislation can be passed without approval of upper house. First, there is legislation passed by the National Assembly, then legislation goes to the Senate, then there is a debate by the technocrats, by the experts who have knowledge about the impact on the society and conformity with the Constitution of Pakistan. Then it is passed by the Senate. Then if there are any conflict between the opposition and any other civil society about that specific legislation, they can appeal that to the Supreme Court of Pakistan. Supreme Court of Pakistan, including the judiciary organs, can overrule any legislation which is against, is proof that it is against some Sharia, that because the Supreme Court or judiciary of Pakistan, like any other country, has a power to dictate, power to you can say translate the constitution. The translation power of the constitution is rest with the judiciary. There is a parliament who constitute the constitution, the legislation, law-making body. Then there is a judiciary who translate that constitution if there is conflict between any two parties. And then there is a administration who implement that law, that rule. Now this slide is regarding the President of Pakistan, very important state organ. It is ceremonial designation which represent state of Pakistan. It is not any executive powers about any executive decisions, but it has this position has ceremonial position which represents the state of Pakistan. Any you can say the ambassador from any country first hour report to the President of Pakistan and submit their you can say the documents of any ambassadorship to the President of Pakistan, because the state symbol of that of the country, and all the legislation and all other matters subject to review by the President before implementation. It is a ceremonial, but subject to review all the legislation and important matters, important decision of the Parliament or Prime Minister or even Chief Minister in some cases, but the governor of that province. These are by the President. National Assembly of Pakistan elect as the President through voting, open voting, I think so, by the MNAs circulated by 5. The tenure of the President is 5 years. With the assemblies, tenure assembly is associated with. So it's all about this very lengthy video, my point of view, about this basic facts about Pakistan regarding the Federation of Pakistan we have discussed in detail. Up to the next video, stay blessed.